All verse rising, my soul family. All verse rising. Let me tell you something, man. A lot of these lighter skinned females who would see a darker skinned guy that be on that racist shit, that colorism shit, and it'd be like, well, he would look more good looking if he was actually lighter skinned. That happens a lot, man. And nobody broadcasts that information, bro. Especially like, when you living in white people's country, like USA, United Kingdom, Canada, and shit like that. And you look at, countries like the Latin countries and shit, for example, the Middle Eastern countries, for example, a lot of lighter skinned women in the Latin countries, in Middle Eastern countries, for example, they have said like, this dark skinned guy would actually be good looking if he was lighter skinned. Because I know from personal experience, a lot of lighter skinned females that saw me in person, they said like I would actually be cute looking if I was lighter skinned. Do you see how fucking racist and how colorist that shit is? Like, come on, man. That's crazy as fuck. That's how I know. That's how I know, like, this planet has been in a society ran by draconian demon slave owners to have a lot of women, always have hate for dark skinned melanated guys, man. You know what's crazy about this shit? The same females who said I was ugly because of my goddamn dark skin complexion, me having brown eyes, black hair and shit. And you know what's crazy about this shit? You know what's the fucked up shit about us dark skinned melanated males that are African and Caribbean dark skinned melanated males? Our brown eyes is seen as the color black on camera, you know, but in person people can see the brown eyes of us dark skinned melanated males, right? A lot of lighter skinned females, for example, they're the main females who deep down know for a fact that a lot of us dark skinned melanated males are ugly to them. They know this. They don't want to say that shit publicly though. Now some lighter skinned females will say that shit, like Latin females, um, European females and shit like that. That's to be expected. But they wouldn't say that shit like in person to a dark skinned guy in person, because they know a dark skinned guy's gonna flip out and call them racist and all that shit, right? You know, what's crazy about this shit? The same females who can say I'm ugly because of my dark skin complexion, they'll turn around and be hip. They'll turn around and be on some bullshit and be like, oh, if I was light skinned, if I was lighter skinned, I had like purple hair, purple eyes and shit, and I had lighter skin. Those same females who said I was ugly, they'd be like, damn, like he good looking. Damn, I'm sexually driven to get with him. That's fucked up. That's the fucked up planet we live on, man. That's the fucked up ass planet we live on due to this fucked up ass society, bro. Like, it's so stressful, man. You know what's crazy? Like, I suffer from colorism before with females before. I suffer with colorism, racism, and shit like that. I had grew up in a so-called European white person's country like USA, so of course that's to be expected. That's to be expected. And then me being a dark skinned guy, me being a dark skinned melanated guy who is very tapped in with African and Caribbean roots, these lighter skinned females already hate dark skinned melanated men who know who they are. Dark skinned melanated men who are tapped in with their African and Caribbean roots. Lighter skinned women just hate that shit. Especially them damn European women too. You know? This could be a lot of these lighter skinned women that are not dark skinned, they could take this as a hate message to them, but I don't give a fuck. Take it how you want to take it. These lighter skinned women deserve this shit. You know what I'm saying? Now when lighter skinned women see lighter skinned men, they be genuine about why they like them. They be genuine about it. They not faking that shit. Like, you never seen lighter skinned women say light skinned men are ugly. Come on, man. Other women will look at lighter skinned women that say light skinned men and European men are ugly and be like, girl, you crazy. But guarantee you, any lighter skinned women or European women that says that a dark skinned African Caribbean guy like myself is ugly looking, A lot of females will agree. A lot of Middle Eastern females agree. Look at the skin complexion of guys that Middle Eastern females get with. They be light. They be light. They be light, man. You don't ever see no Middle Eastern light skinned female with no dark skinned African Caribbean guy. You don't see no fucking European woman or Latin nationality woman or Dominican or light skinned Eritrean women from the country of Eritrea with these dark skinned African Caribbean guys like me. You don't see it. You don't see that in the open. You know, you only see that shit in porn and fucking celebrities and shit. You only see it through that, man. Like on a daily basis, like if a light skinned woman, if a lighter skinned Middle Eastern female, a European female, or a Latin female saw me in person in their neighborhood, some shit like that, they wouldn't pay no mind to me. They'd be like, "Oh, this dark skinned guy ugly as fuck." Like, I don't know why his African Caribbean ass is even existing. That's how a lot of lighter skinned women view a lot of us darker skinned men. If a female is Latin nationality, Middle Eastern nationality, European nationality, Dominican, any nationality of lighter skinned women that don't come from dark skinned nationalities, they view dark skinned melanated men of African Caribbean ethnicities as ugly. All of these lighter skinned women do. I don't give a fuck what no lighter skinned woman say. She can talk all that bullshit, but but I had a kid with a dark skinned guy. No, that don't mean shit. I've seen there's a lot of lighter skinned women that had children with darker skinned guys, just to like trap the darker skinned guy and like and screw him over. Lighter skinned women have been known to screw over darker skinned men for history. A lot of darker skinned women don't screw over darker skinned men. That's never happened. That's never really shown in history. You know what I'm saying? Now I'll say this: I had a dark skinned ex, but she was in United States, but that didn't work out. But that was on a whole different shit. It was only because she was whitewashed. But naturally, darker skinned women are always gonna naturally like darker skinned men, because darker skinned women look like darker skinned men. But why would you expect a lighter skinned female, whether she Latin, European, Dominican, Middle Eastern, to like dark skinned African Caribbean guys like me? The history is bad between us. The history is bad between, dark skinned African Caribbean people and lighter skinned Middle Eastern and Latin and European people. The history is bad. Yes, it is true. A lot of these light skinned Middle Eastern women have raped a lot of us African, Caribbean, dark skinned men in slavery. The Latin women did it, the European women did it. That's why I got PTSD from this shit, man. I got PTSD from that, man. So lighter skinned women can't be mad at me for, not liking them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong to think like this. It's not a negative way of thinking, man. I mean, I gotta put all lighter skinned women in a box. They all feel the same way about darker skinned men. Like, I'll get with him just to make him feel good, but I'm gonna treat him like shit subliminally. And I'm gonna fuck on this European guy and fuck on this, light skinned guy, behind this darker skinned guy's back. That's what a lot of these lighter skinned women do. And a lot of you lighter skinned women, man, y'all full of shit. I don't give a fuck if you're Middle Eastern, Latin, Dominican, Eritrean, European. I don't give a fuck. You lighter skinned women ain't shit. Cause you got that fucking European blood in your ass because you lighter skinned. You don't got no fucking chocolate melanin. Come on, man. Take it as hate if you want to, man. Oh, you Mexican girls. Oh, you got that European blood in your ass too. A lot of Mexican girls used to be darker skinned, but now they're like, almost damn near pale. So, in Guatemalan females, the same boat too. They got that European blood. Salvadorian got that European, Polynesian. Hawaiians got that European blood in their ass, man. I don't give a fuck, man. Oh, Vietnam girls, they got that European blood in them too, man. I don't give a fuck. Come on, man. Any female that's not dark skinned, she will never genuinely like dark skinned men. If a female is one of the lighter skinned people, she will never genuinely like dark skinned men. She gonna see a dark skinned, lighter skinned women of lighter skinned nationalities are always gonna see darker skinned African, Caribbean guys as slaves. These are all fucking facts. Any lighter skinned female that saw me in person, they saw me as a slave to them. They saw me as a slave nigger to them. I don't give a fuck, man. I don't give a fuck if the lighter skinned woman was considered melanated. She see me as a slave nigger too. That's why I never had sexual experiences with lighter skinned women. Because why? It ain't worth it as a darker skinned male. If you're a darker skinned male and you see these lighter skinned women and you think about being in emotional attraction connections with them, it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. Lighter skinned women ain't shit. They not. They not, man. Like, any woman that's lighter than me, she ain't worth the damn time. Now, I'm gonna have to stand on this because, and if I'm wrong for this, man, so be it. I'll be wrong for this. I don't give a fuck. A lot of lighter skinned women did darker skinned men wrong in slavery. I'll never forgive that shit. I can't forgive what lighter skinned Latin women did to darker skinned men, Middle Eastern light skinned women did to darker skinned men, or Europeans. I don't give a fuck. So it is what it is, man. And I know I got a lot of social media cleaning to do. You know what I'm saying? You know, after this video, I'm pretty sure a lot of lighter skinned females gonna be sure to like make sure I'm blocked on social media because I found out the evil ass history they did. I gotta put all lighter skinned women in the same box. I know that's cruel, but go ahead. I got to do it, man. I can't ignore it. Lighter skinned women show that they like lighter skinned men genuinely. Lighter skinned women never genuinely like darker skinned men. I don't give a fuck if she albino. I don't give a fuck if she Latin. I don't give a fuck if she's fucking Dominican, Eritrean, Middle Eastern, European. I don't give a fuck. All lighter skinned women genuinely hate dark skinned men. Even if he did do porn content creating, they don't give a fuck. There's lighter skinned women who had sex with Fella Run It All, and deep down they don't like his ass. They only did it because he did porn and to get social media clout and just to make Fella Run It All dark skinned African ass feel good.